Hey, what's up, y'all? My brother, the Mexican, come up from Louisiana to visit, and he need to unwind. So we went up to Midland to the car show and swap meet. Scored some great deals. I'll go over a few of the things later that I got. Um, we just had a good time up there, and didn't have him much on the video. We were just wanting to relax and catch up, and here's what we saw at Midland, the antique swap meet and car show. There's twice a year. There's another one in September. I recommend that if you're in the Tri-City area, you head on over there and check it out, y'all. Look at that goodness right there, y'all. Big reds. I bet he has to check engine light on. Oh, look at the eyelashes on this shit. Ugh. Mrs. Bomber and the Mexican here. We're going to be wheeling and dealing. Chris, there's Mexican outfits. Black Rifle Drit. So we're at Midland at the swap meet and car show. We got some old goodness here. Look at this. Look at this guy here. There's a real famous dude right here.
I was going to say, there's those
an old 88 Rocket. And then look at this. I do like that Pontiac, no 350. But that is extremely interesting. Nice little Cutlass. That's a Will Jordan special right there, y'all, for sure. And I do love the Sakana line, no V-dub. I'm not saying nothing about that. That's a crime commitment. Excuse me for the coughing. Nice little V-dub convertible. I like this one. I don't know where my wife and the Mexican went. A Marley Carlo SS. He's got the boat, the big old engine in it. And this Torino, y'all. Nice little Chevrolet. This Edsel right here. Good Lord. Look at these two heathens right here. All the swap meet goodness. Waylon Jennings in the old 8-track. So some of this is absolute nonsense, but some is pretty cool. An old Sears Thunderbird. We picked up a few things, which we'll talk about later. Got a few cool things we'll go over tomorrow when I interview the Mexican. This little sweet goodness right here. Look at that. Got some Shreveport goodness up here. Pick this up for 20. We have to do that, but look at this C30, y'all. Oh, plate man, we sell plates. They're wanted, so I had a voiceover. This music won't stop, y'all. It's irritating. This one was full of some good stuff. A lot of stuff we wanted, but we didn't need, so we didn't get it. Like that Firestone flag. A couple of gas pumps, Pennzoil. There's a few vintage stuff, but there was also a ton of repop stuff. A little disappointed. So a little bit of everything. Pretty sure those are repops for the wolf head. Here's Roy. Got an old, real nice Cut V. Couple of military stuff. All right, y'all, had some music going. There's a Cut V, so I didn't want to get a copyright violation. That's like the American version of a Unimog. I've seen that one around a couple of times. It's pretty cool. Nice little Suburban there. I like that. This rat rod I've seen around, it's on an S10 frame. He's done a pretty good job with it. But there was a good turnout today in Midland. And of course, there are Corvettes everywhere. There is a tractor of some sort with longhorns on it. This was a Studebaker for sale, and the guy's, he wanted way too much for this, so I didn't take his information. Lots and lots of muscle cars. There's that Marley Carlo again. And wait, is it a Volkswagen convertible? Y'all look, I'm psychic. Ain't that something? That thing was pretty clean and sounded great. No Dodge conversion van. Up on top of it was a Federal Eagle, which is pretty cool. And this was an old Oldsmobile that was absolutely gorgeous. Really nice. Another old rat rod. Wide body Mustang. Yellow truck. This is an 8-door Ford van, and they are pretty rare. He's come to a couple of the shows before. So 2 on the front, 2 on each side, and 2 in the back. And there is so much space in this thing, and he has done a fantastic job with it. Paint's new, but the rest of it's all original on the inside, and he drives it to a lot of shows. But this is the first 8-door that I've ever seen in person, and the only one. Hello, Dixie the sheep. She's up here visiting me while I'm narrating. But that thing is super, super clean. There's a guy pointing at something. Nice little 4x4. But this is the biggest turnout I've seen up here. That is a clean car. I've seen that one around too. All right, y'all, I am back to voiceover again. We still had more music going. It's the only thing about these shows is having the music in the background. You get a copyright violation. There was a pretty cool boat. It had tail fins on it, a little Batmobile special. And I think these were all Suzuki's, but I do like that boat right there. I had one similar to it, but we sold that. But a ton of these bikes, they were super, super nice. But like everything else, priced a little high. All right, y'all, we are, I didn't think I said that later, but we're at Midland at the car show and swap meet. So I took the Mexican and Mrs. Bomber here, checking things out, and I will show y'all what all we picked up. But a pretty good crowd, and it's the most cars I've seen here in a good while. They got a little bit of everything here. Some duck decoys, some mud. $10 for that. Always send Mrs. Bomber to get the good stuff. How much?
50.
Go to Mexican to tote it?
No.
that's cool. I just love the logos on that. A couple of Schwinn's. Get some old furs for $10.
Yeah, they're so
And this is Bomber digging through the stuff. Find me good things. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, for goaters. There's a cannon, Stony. If you're watching this, we would want to make a cannon. I believe in cannons. Trying to convince Mrs. Bomber for us to get that for the pond. That panther though. That's pretty sweet. That's the money shot. And that clock's Hey, appreciate you, sir.
I gotta take my pants. But I didn't want to, I didn't want to like make it look like I was taking anything.
Back to the music. Man, that was a barn find Mustang, and that thing is short. I mean, absolutely gorgeous, y'all. There's our buddies with the Willis. They have a couple of them. But man, that Mustang was absolutely gorgeous. I can't imagine finding one of those, little Chevelle. All right, y'all, more music. This Suzuki was super, super sweet. I would love to take that and drive it all over. Y'all, there's a few things we picked up. A blue stop sign, this Dole Eaton Automotives cabinet, and the cigarette holder, which is pretty cool. It has the old Salem sticker, and then another porcelain lamp. All right, y'all, that cleaned up real nice. And we moved the old blue stop sign here. And then here, have the old Case Winston Salem, and then the Dole there. So those turned out really cool. All right, y'all, these are the tools that we picked up at the swap meet. $10 for this gear puller. I did use it on the heavy hauler. And it is a old Forge 2604 made in the USA. But man, $10 for that, and it come in clutch. That's a great one. We got two Craftsman 1/8 inch made in the USA. I like those, never can have enough. This one here is a 3/16. It does have a chip there, but this one will be great for prying where I don't need to be prying with a good screwdriver, opening paint cans, all kind of stuff like that. I do not have one of these, a stubby wide. This one is a 5/16, and of course made in the USA. Then last but not least is another Craftsman made in the USA, a 1/4 inch. So all of these were $1 a piece, and then I paid $2, and this is a big pocket screwdriver. So that says far better quality feeds, Ray's Elevator, grinding, mixing feeds and seeds, Allentown, Wisconsin. And I do like the grippy boy on the, y'all know how I like these kind of screwdrivers. So that's what I scored, and have already put this bad boy to use right here. So 10, 15, 17 bucks. I mean, I don't know if you price these, and now most all of them are made in China. So there's that. China. Hey, appreciate y'all watching. We had a good time. Had a great time with the Mexican. Had us a couple of cold drinks. Ate some good food. Had some good quality time catching up. Listening to some old school country music. Some Waylon and Johnny Cash. Even a little Hank Free. So he got home safe back to Shreveport. Brother, can't wait to see you again. Hope you make it up here during the winter time. And then we'll definitely go back to Midland in September, me and Mrs. Bomber. Y'all have a good one. God bless y'all. Thanks for watching.